Hi all, I thought I'd make a video about my experience of this product from Starbrite called Descaling Engine Flush. Before we tackle the engine, I'm going to first of all see how we get on with this thermostat that we've taken out of the engine, and which we would have to take out of the engine anyway to do the engine flush. So with this product we have to dilute 1:1, 1 part descaling engine flush to 1 part water. So this is an acidic product, so we have to be pretty careful with it. It's about a 1:1 mixture. I'm wearing gloves and goggles, even if you can't see me. Just give it a quick stir. Now, this product claims to be harmless to seals, so I'm going to put the rubber seal from the thermostat into the mixture as well, just to see what happens. And here goes the thermostat, which you can see is pretty well caked with calcification. Should have been changed a long time ago, but better late than never, I guess. Well, there's a lot of activity in there, which is promising. So I'm going to leave it for about 10 or 15 minutes, see what happens. So we're about 10 or 12 minutes into the descaling process. The fizzing is almost come to an end. Water is looking very murky at this stage, but I do see signs of a much cleaner looking thermostat in the mixture. Just to repeat, I don't intend to use the thermostat again. This was just an experiment to see what the descaling engine flush would do to the inside of my engine using the pretty caked up thermostat as a sample. So I'm just about to take it out now to see how it looks. And there we go. Wow, it is looking decidedly cleaner. And I think it's safe to say that if it did that, what it just did to that thermostat, to the inside of our engine, we'd be very happy. I'm also going to grab the rubber seal out of there just to see how that is really impressive. Just to see how the rubber seal has survived the experience. Certainly no immediate sign of any deterioration. It looks to have survived intact, which is good to know. And this thermostat looks to be as clean as a whistle. So, looking forward to the next part of this work, which will be descaling the actual engine, and we will be putting in a new thermostat to replace this one. Hello again. So I'm at the boat. This is a Geno Sunshine 36 1984 model for anyone that's interested, and the engine in here is a Yanmar 3GMD. So what I've done in preparation for this job is taken out the 3 zinc sacrificial anodes, cleaned up the plugs and replaced the plugs only. So my intention then, after this is done, is to reinstall the anodes, of course, but I didn't want to have the anodes in the cooling system while this acid product was doing its work. So what I have here is a basin I have everything set up, I think. A basin with a portable pump. So from the pump there's this clear plastic tube which luckily for me connects into an inlet pipe for the water cooling system. So I don't know if you can see, but it connects in there. This is a spare piece of pipe I had, but fortuitously it fitted into this pump outlet hose. So what's happened also is as you know, I've taken out if you've seen the last part of this video, I removed the thermostat and just replaced the thermostat cover so that there's no impediment to the flow of water during this descaling process. So what's going to happen is the acidic solution is going to be pumped into the inlet, the water cooling inlet of the engine. It's going to go circulate all through the around the cylinder head, etc. And then eventually it comes out. I don't know if you can see this at the rear of the engine back here. So again, I've just taken the existing hose and again, luckily for me, a piece of normal flexible household domestic plumbing fitted into that one. I didn't really need it. I could have let it just drop into the basin, but I felt to avoid splashing, that extra bit of length here would help. So what I'm going to do is put a solution of 50% water and 50% of the acidic compound and start things going. Okay, so I initially filled the basin, or partially filled the basin, with water only, just to make sure I didn't have any leaks in the system. And just show you what's happening now. So the water, as expected, is getting pumped through the cooling system, coming out the other side. You can see there we go. It's coming out through this outlet hose. So this is what we wanted. However, I did find that I had to put more water in than expected, because essentially, I guess the cooling system had been drained by me removing all of the anodes, etc. So I had to put more water in there. So which means I'm going to have to put more of the Starbrite Descaling Flush compound in there as well, which is the next step now that I know there aren't any leaks. Okay, I have added the Starbrite Descaling compound and I am about to switch on. I'm wearing goggles, which is very important given how aggressive this solution is going to be. So here we go. It's probably more correct to mix up the solution with water rather than adding the solution neat to the water. But like I said, I did want to check for leaks, and I think if I leave it run for a little while, it's going to get well mixed up anyway. So I'm going to let this run for the next 10 minutes and then just see. Well, I can see already, actually, look at that. That's a result almost immediately. Assuming it's not all of the vital innards of the engine, then this is a good result. There's a lot of gunk coming out of here already. So at this stage I'm on my second run through. I let the first mixture run for approximately 10 minutes and I drained it, which you have to be pretty careful with, by the way, not to splash it, and also to put it into a pretty heavy duty container. So then I made up a second batch of this stuff, and running that through now at the stage. Not quite as much foaming this time around, but the water that came out, couldn't really call it water at this stage, but the stuff that came out first time was pretty vile and laden with a lot of well, whatever was lining the inside of our cooling system in this Yanmar 3GMD. So I'm going to let this run for another 5 or 10 minutes, and then I will get rid of this waste product and then run water through the engine and see how that looks. So at this stage I'm on my second flush of water through the system, and what's coming out of the pipe here now looks more like water. So I had two loads of contaminated mixture that I will now have to dispose of somehow, and I'm going to do another 2 or 3 of these water flushes before I connect up to the salt water intake. This is a direct cooled, salt water cooled engine, by the way.